everybody. It's Angie Rupert, founder of Rupert Law. We handle exclusively E-2 and E-1 visas, so no matter what treaty country you're from or where you want to be, we can help. Before we get started, as always, please take a moment to like and subscribe. And of course, if you have any friends or family members who are interested in the E-2 or E-1 visa, please share. We would love that. Thanks so much. So today I wanted to talk about three recent approvals that we had in Mexico City for our E-2 investors from Mexico. So, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that so you can kind of see the different types of industries and investments that are or have recently been approved in Mexico City in 2025. So, number one, we have an automotive engineering company. So, a completely service-based consulting type company that is based in South Carolina. Our investor was a TN and then switched to an E2, right? So it's a very common for our Canadian and Mexican investors. And he was one. He was living in the US under a TN. He started his consulting business, applied for that as an E2, then came back to run that business. He invested $104,792, and that business is now in South Carolina, right? We have another client who was from Mexico. He had, and I'm going to read this because this is a little bit different, also another service-based business, an AI company that analyzes and simplifies sales processes for medium to large companies. Okay, so he had created, he was able to use data and different things to create a system that would systematize a variety of different things for processes and that type of thing for larger companies. He started his business in Texas, and his investment was $114,072 US dollars. And then we have our most recent approval, who is a Mexican national, and he opened a coffee shop in New York City. Wow, how exciting, right? His investment for that was $107,072, and he was approved. He is now here running this coffee shop in New York City. So 3 different states, 3 different types of businesses, 3 approvals. Also, just a couple of different notes. So one thing that we're seeing as a trend in Mexico City is a lot of RFEs. What's an RFE? It's a request for evidence, right? So they have a very strict page limit. We always abide by that page limit, send the documentation in. And right now, one of the trends is it's very common to get an email back from them saying, we need more documentation, right? One thing that we found was similar in all 3 was a utility bill for the business, okay? So that's just something they asked for in each case. There were a variety of other tax and IRS documents. They varied a little bit depending on the company and the application. So, but one thing they asked for every time was a utility bill. So just keep that in mind if applying in Mexico City. Average wait time for an interview in 2025 so far. Now, of course, these things can change at any time, right? The government's in charge of their own timeline. But all of these folks got their interview about 10 to 12 weeks after the initial application was sent, okay? All of these are sent via email to Mexico City, and all 3 of them reported a very simple interview process. So I hope the same is true for you. Of course, all cases are different, all facts are different, and approval rates vary all over the world. But if you are a Mexican national or any national and are interested in the E-2 visa, give us a call anytime. We'd love to speak with you about your E-2 visa.